what have you thought about this whole process, being part of it, and having an opportunity to play for the U.S. national junior team? I mean, obviously got drafted this year. It's been a big year overall for you, but this is the next step, it seems like.
It's a pretty cool feeling. It's an honor to be here and kind of compete alongside guys that I've played against and played with. So I feel like it's an honor to be here and kind of just play my game and go out there and just let things fall where they fall.
You definitely looked like you played a pretty physical game. Obviously scored a ton of goals last year too. So how do you describe yourself as a player, and how much of that physicality is something you want to make part of your permanent game?
Kind of when we got here, we're kind of talking about, maybe buying into a different role and kind of playing your game. And, I have a physical side to me as well. And I think that I can elevate that here a bunch and kind of be someone that's hard to play against and kind of hard on the forecheck, the penalty kill, and be hard to play against defensively.
Go ahead, Mike.
What do you account for your ascent in the USHL last year? The goals, the points. How did that come about for you personally?
For me, I feel like it's just kind of buying into the process back in Dubuque and just kind of putting in work even if things weren't going my way. And then eventually I got a shot in the lineup and I kind of just ran with it with a great group of guys and great team chemistry and playing alongside a good group. So I feel like it's kind of a testament to them as well because it's not possible without your teammates.
Was there a little bit of a chip on your shoulder too after being passed over in the 23 draft, and then to get your shot this year must have been kind of nice, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's obviously everyone's dream to be drafted, and it's an honor. And kind of that sucks, kind of not being drafted the first year. But again, I can only control what I can control, and that's my effort and my play on the ice and my attitude and how I carry myself off the ice.
Knowing the background of the Flyers and how they play and the history of the team, is it kind of cool to be drafted by that club?
Yeah.
When they see you, the prospects of playing there?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool, just not because of the skill aspect, but the defensive aspect, the hitting and the fighting. I feel like kind of the atmosphere there is very big on that gritty side of the game, and it'd be cool to kind of bring some of that out as well.
Do you have some background in jiu-jitsu and boxing?
I do, yeah. So I actually trained here at Ronaldo Candido, BJJ, a couple summers ago here a bunch. And then I've been boxing with Barry Brennan since I was in like 7th grade. So I do have a lot of experience in that regard. Yeah.
How does like a sport like jiu-jitsu help you get, for hockey and things like that?
It's kind of like, it's low impact cardio. So like you're not wearing and tearing on your knees and on your shoulders and stuff as much. It is a little dangerous, so you got to be careful, but it's something fun. It's different. It's unique. You have to have a degree of flexibility to do it as well, and I didn't have that at first. So kind of working on that. And then the boxing, just the physicality, like the balance and the footwork was also something I needed to work with, and kind of it went hand in hand as well as the conditioning.
So the guys at Flow Grappling are gonna love hearing this because we got that too. I also wanted to ask you. I saw a video of you from when you were in development camp, and you met with a young player that is hard of hearing. I mean, what kind of can you explain your background with that and kind of what that was like for you to now as a potential pro athlete to be a role model as well?
Yeah, I mean, so I was born with a hearing loss, and so kind of it was a little challenging at first in terms of how to navigate that and advocate for yourself. And as I've matured, I've gotten better at advocating for myself, kind of sitting in the front of the locker room when coach is talking in classrooms and making sure I can see the coach's face. And I feel like I've gotten better with that over the years, and I've also been fortunate enough to have great coaches that kind of understand that. And then on the flip side, it's kind of always playing for something bigger than yourself. There's always people to look up to, and I had people that I looked up to as well, like someone like Jim Kite who played in the NHL who was deaf, and so hopefully I can be that for someone else because there's always something bigger to play for.
Do you remember when you were diagnosed with that? It was a bilateral hearing loss, right?
So it was. I didn't know that I had it, but I found out around late kindergarten, 1st grade year.
Do you have hearing aids?
I do. You just can't see them. They're in my ears. Yeah, you can't see them. Yeah, you can't see them. So I use a different brand they're not over the ear. Those used to get like sweaty and kind of staticky, and now I just put them in the ear, and they're a lot easier. And I can change the settings a little better too. So that's kind of what I've used in the past, what works for me.
And now when you're on the ice, you can still hear teammates and stuff. Everything is good for you.
Yeah. I mean, I take them out when I play just because there's a lot of noise, sensory overload sometimes. But I've gotten better with that. As it's kind of another thing. You kind of find out new tips and tricks to kind of make sure you're hearing your teammates on the bench, you're hearing your coaches. Like when I talk to any coaches, I'm kind of looking at their face, making sure I'm picking up on any little cues they may or may not be giving me, and just kind of figuring out little tricks to make sure I'm in the loop and doing what I need to be doing on the ice.
And I guess what have you said when you've met with younger people and you know, as you advocated for yourself? I mean, what's the best piece of advice for maybe a hockey player with hearing loss?
I would say you can't really let something that you can't control kind of deter you from what you want to do. But on the flip side, you got to advocate for yourself, because if you don't take that leap for yourself, no one else is going to do it for you. So you kind of got to put the foot in the door and kind of be assertive in that sense and make sure that the coaches know so that you can get the help that you need so you can develop. It's obviously going to be a little more challenging because not everyone's dealing with that, but it's very possible.
How big would it be for you to make this team?
I feel like it'd be very cool. Honestly, it was kind of it's been a dream growing up. You know, everyone on Christmas break, they watch this tournament. So like, I watched the Tkachuk brothers from my couch, kind of watching them go out and hit people and kind of be physical. Even Kenny Connors, he was a Dubuque guy a couple years ago. I watched him and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So it'd be huge, honestly, just for myself and then kind of for the hearing impaired community as well.